What would it be like to be the last of your kind? To be displaced from your home based on the actions and aggressions of others? This is not a new tale, but to help you explore these questions, Endling, a new game from HeroBeat Studios, explores these ideas, and many others, through the eyes of a mother fox as she strives to survive with her 3 cubs in a world that's been decimated by humans. The demo introduces us to an Earth that, in many ways, is uncomfortably close to reality should our waste and consumption habits continue. Human influence has desolated the landscape, and whether on land or wading through water, pollution is evident, and the creatures of the land are the ones to pay the price. You'll begin your life as a fox in the comfort of your den, physically sheltered from the dangers of the world. This is great because you have 3 kits, baby foxes, who need a safe place to grow. It's quickly apparent that security is never guaranteed. In this demo, the main source of conflict is that one of your cubs is stolen from your den by humans. You must balance exploring increasingly further from your den to see if you can find them by tracking the scent of the human who took them from you, while ensuring the daily well-being of the rest of your kits. The art, sound, and music are beautiful and immersive. Camera angles shift, providing what initially seems like a 3D side-scrolling game a wonderfully surprising amount of visual depth, so that what remains of the countryside seems vast, and you'll definitely feel like there's a whole world to explore, even if that world is hazardous. Foxes are nocturnal creatures, so you'll explore and hunt in the evening, tracking food, feeding your cubs, and avoiding predators and traps already provide for lots to keep in mind, even in this demo form. Controls feel pretty good, although sometimes certain actions, namely hopping up to ledges and choosing different paths on forked areas to turn on, input a little bit softer and felt a little more sluggish than I wanted them to, but it wasn't something I really noticed after the first few tries. As a whole, being a fox feels great. As the days and nights progressed, I found myself having to venture further and further from my den to find adequate food for my growing family. Not only did they need more to sustain their growth, but it seemed like prey started to become more scarce the more time went on. In one of these ventures, I lost a cub to an owl, which was heartbreaking. Even while in the back of my mind, all I could think about was how the owl was probably trying to do the same thing. Just survive. While it's possible to stay outside during the day, the danger increases quite a bit, which is good encouragement to try and get things done as efficiently as possible in the evening and keep a wary eye on the time. Day or night, in addition to natural dangers, you must keep an eye out for humans and their traps, as they'll be in different places depending on the day and time. The animation when you are caught and killed honestly was quite jarring and brutal, especially the first time I saw it and didn't know it was coming. So for those of you who have gentler hearts and are particularly sensitive to animals being hurt, be aware. Each evening, you'll get to work to feed your cubs, and gradually through the demo, they'll begin to grow. Eventually, they'll grow strong enough to join you on your hunts, and according to the devs in an interview, in the full game, they'll even begin to learn how to forage and survive with you, hopefully allowing the burden to feel a little less alone. I'm especially excited about this feature because even in the small time I was with these cubs, I could already feel small bits of their personality come to life. One of them wasn't a strong swimmer, for example, when the other 2 seemed more excited about jumping into the water. While the demo focuses on one area, eventually the world will shift for the vixen and her kits, as they'll be displaced from their den. In the final version of the game, the developers have described a greater world that you'll get to explore, where other animals, both predators as well as friendlier creatures, can play a greater role. Depending on certain decisions, not all of your cubs may survive, and there will be different paths to follow and endings to achieve based on your actions. This game begs the question of what happens when we reach our limit. On a grander scale, the game explores the limit and the impact of humans on the earth and its creatures. On a more micro scale, much like other eco-conscious and nature-focused games like Quench and Shelter, which I both also recommend, the Endling demo asks us to take on the responsibility of raising and ensuring the safety of our 3 fox cubs. What's the limit? How far can a mother be pushed to make sure her cubs are safe? I appreciated that this demo gave me tons of food for thought, and even as I was thinking about the more eco-conscious message, I also found myself making mental connections to peoples and entire cultures who have also been affected by human activity, displaced by greed, consumption, and waste. When playing Endling, you'll get a sense of how vulnerable we all are, animals, people, and the Earth, and how if we don't realize our connection, the fact that we're a part of this ecosystem and not just visitors to it, we are in trouble. Although the demo narrative is a dark one, and it can be especially stressful attempting to keep your cubs alive, the developers have commented and said that the final product will be one of hope. Ultimately, when I play the demo, I'm not sure I felt that hope quite yet, but there were moments of joy and beauty as I moved through the countryside and watched my cubs' adorable antics as they grew older. I did feel like this game set up a world and characters that I want to know more about and protect. I'm invested in the safety of this little fox family, and I'm looking forward to being able to grow with them, explore with them, and hopefully survive and find a place to call home with them. If you like this video, please consider following this channel where I create content about indies. Let's plays, indie discoveries, first impressions like this one, and curated lists to highlight games I'm most excited about. This is a space to celebrate and think critically about indie games. And if you'd like to join us live, tune in to twitch.tv/Kimchica, where I play, you guessed it, indie games with a more thoughtful bent, but with the occasional Just Dance and horror stream thrown in for fun. I hope you're all having a great day, that you're finding lots of indie games to play, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!